for some real education. Sister Platia Nelli, who was around from 1524 to 1588, was a unique figure in history. Not only was she a self-taught artist, but she was also the first known female Renaissance painter of Florence. Her paintings include Lamentation with Saints, Saint Catherine Receives the Stigmata, and Saint Dominic Receives the Rosary.
Yeah, Sister Nelli was also a nun of the Dominican convent of St. Catherine of Siena and located in the Piazza San Marco, Florence, and was heavily influenced by the teachings of the radical preacher Savonarola and by the artwork of Fra Bartolomeo. She's a remarkable creature, one of the first great female paintings in Western culture, painters in Western culture. She did a very famous Last Supper, probably her most famous picture. You can take a look at it right there. And it was done in Florence, and Florence is the town of Last Suppers. There are more Last Suppers there than pretty much anywhere else, and that's, of course, where you will find the work of Leonardo da Vinci, much of his work there as well. And so you see when you think about the traditional Last Supper of Da Vinci, most of us can gather a picture. This is a really neat work of art, but notice how it doesn't have the same flow. If you think about the graceful flow of Da Vinci's Last Supper, where all the characters were moving in unison. They were all turning to Christ in various degrees. They were all focusing the attention of the picture right around the figure at Christ at the center, with the exception of Judas in Da Vinci's, where Judas is the one figure pulled back, which makes a stark distinction. Take a look at this one. It doesn't quite have that flow, does it? You've got the characters at the end. Some of the characters are sitting up straight. You don't get that. You see more of a chaotic scene here, less of a unified Last Supper. This is a supper that a lot of people are out, but it's not even clear they're paying attention to each other. You have Christ at the middle, comforting. One of perhaps John, that would be, he's comforting. And you've got everybody else there. And some of them are looking, some are looking at you, out at the camera at you, some of them have their heads turned. It's not at all clear what they're talking about here. And you've got that one apostle whose back is to you, which is really helps to lend a beautiful sense of depth to the canvas, but doesn't do much for the orchestrated nature of the composition itself. It's a really pretty picture. It's a high work of art. It's not the Last Supper of Da Vinci, but then again, most things are not. And what's most remarkable about this picture, was painted in the 1560s, is that Sister Nelli is the first woman to undertake a Last Supper. As I mentioned, Florence had the richest tradition of paintings with the theme of the Last Supper in the world. Her most significant work, because of its size and subject, it's a 7-meter long oil on canvas. The Last Supper was under restoration for a lot of years. People couldn't see it. Finally, the work itself went on exhibit in October 2019 at Santa Maria Novella Museum in Florence, across from Alessandro Allori's painting with the same theme, also painted in the 16th century. Really a remarkable, very credible work of art from a female painter who happened to be a nun in 16th century Florence.